Alright, horror nerds and musical theater geeks, this video is for you. Imagine the Evil Dead, the blood, the gore, the boomstick, but now it's a stage show with jazz hands. Yep, in this video we're diving into Evil Dead the Musical, the only show where you can belt show tunes while dodging fake blood and splatter. It's like Broadway got possessed by a deadite. So grab your chainsaw and tap shoes because this is going to be groovy. Let's take a look at one of the greatest horror comedy musical mashups since, well, Bruce Campbell himself.
Evil Dead the Musical is a rock musical stage play based on the Evil Dead franchise. First performed on stage in 2003 at the Transact Club in Toronto, Ontario, the show instantly became a hit and eventually moved on to an off-Broadway run in 2006 at the New World Stages. Since then, there's been over 500 productions of the musical. It has played to standing room-only crowds in Toronto, Korea, Las Vegas, and many more. This rock musical has now become a cult classic, just like Rocky Horror back in the 70s. If you're familiar with the movies, this stage show isn't much different when it comes to the plot. 5 college students spend the weekend in an abandoned cabin in the woods, accidentally unleashing an evil terror. Blood flies, limbs are dismembered, demons tell bad jokes, and all to music. In this comedic take on the 1980s horror franchise, characters and demons sing and dance to hilariously catchy songs, such as What the F*** Was That?, Do the Necronomicon, and Blew That Bitch Away. And, as in the films, Ash is there to dish out his various one-liners and fight the never-ending demons. The musical takes some creative liberty with the plot line of the movies, mixing together the characters and concepts of all 3 films, as well as changing sequences for the sake of the stage and comedic intent. Roughly, the first act adapts the original Evil Dead, while the second act adapts Evil Dead 2. Somehow the musical finds a way to be bloodier than the films, with the first few rows of the theater set up as a splatter zone. Yes, a splatter zone in a theater, like you were going to see the whales at SeaWorld. And yes, you will get wet. Possibly very wet. The show has been described as cheesy, sexist, supremely violent, unabashedly profane, disgusting, silly, and stupid. I can't defend this show from any of those adjectives, yet I can't wipe the smile off my face anytime I watch it or listen to the cast soundtrack. If you like the movies and don't mind going to the live theater, chances are you're going to love this and should try to catch a performance if it's ever in your town. Evil Dead the Musical is definitely not a family-friendly production though, so best to leave little Jimmy at home. Evil Dead the Musical is a blood, vulgarity, and fun-filled romp that will appeal to lovers of B-horror movies, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and of course, anyone who enjoys the goofier entries in the Evil Dead franchise, such as Evil Dead 2 and especially Army of Darkness.
So there you go. That's a brief look into the groovy, gory, and gut-bustingly funny world of Evil Dead the Musical. I mean, who knew chainsaws, blood splatter, and demon possession could be so catchy, right? So if Ash can belt out a number while fighting deadites, what's stopping you from trying karaoke this weekend? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Think of it as your way of saying, "Hail to the king, baby." And also, hit that subscribe button for more content, or I might just have to summon the Necronomicon on you and, well, we all know how that worked out. And hey, drop a comment below. Would you sit in the infamous splatter zone at the show? Or are you keeping your outfit demon blood free? Alright, so stay groovy, and I'll see you in the next one. Cue dramatic music here.